This is the easiest game on Roblox.
Easiest game on Roblox.
The easiest game on Roblox.
The easiest game on Roblox.
Easiest game on Roblox.
Easiest game.
Easiest game on Roblox.
This is not the easiest game on Roblox. I know that's what the title says, and elements of the game are easy, but hidden beneath the surface is one of the most intricate puzzle games you will ever get to see with your own two eyes. There's the simple stuff like walking into an apple to get the apple ending, or walking into cheese to get the cheese ending. But then you've got mechanics like portaling items over to your next session, being captured by aliens, and
destroying a trophy,
by making a ball angry. However, in this game, now sitting in over 90 endings, there were just 3 which stood out. Endings that were so difficult that for months they remained unsolved, despite the game having thousands of players actively playing at all times. But wait. First, we need to take a step back. To truly understand what I'm about to tell you, we first need to look at the person who created this game. Roby100. You see, this is not Roby's first game. He has already found success with a few other games, namely Find a Stickman. However, Roby is not an ordinary Roblox developer. He has an affinity for the difficult side of Roblox. From missing the Hood of Heroes in RB battles by 2 minutes, to being the #1 victor of the Silver Noob Egg, to beating the Tower of Champions Road and Duke's Towers of Hell. You can probably see how this guy would be the one to create some absolutely impossible badges. And perhaps where this is most apparent is in one of his lesser known Roblox games, Anything Can Be a Secret. Created alongside 2 of his friends, Chris and Harry, this is an absolutely relentless puzzle game, consisting of 43 secrets, none of which you have any hints as to how to get. Let's just say it's difficult. The secrets can range from anything as simple as looking under the map to recreating an entire chess position and searching it up on a website to find exactly when it was played and what its name is. Honestly, this game could get its very own video explaining all of the insanity that goes on inside it, but for now, all you need to know is that the easiest game on Roblox is a spiritual successor of sorts to Anything Can Be a Secret. Most of the principles of the game remain the same. Firstly, you don't get any hints whatsoever. Everything you do in the game has to be from your own research. Secondly, if you do solve an ending, it is highly encouraged that you do not share the solution with anyone. And thirdly, the solution to any given batch can be anything. No matter how outrageous an idea may seem, it's worth a try. With that being said, the easiest game on Roblox is designed to be much more user-friendly. Unlike Anything Can Be a Secret, the game was made for a broader audience, so anybody could enjoy playing it. Which makes it particularly strange that within the first 50 badges that released along with the game, there was one Roby thought was so difficult that he just removed it from the game. Let me explain. Basically, within the first 2 days of the game's release, pretty much every ending was solved. Gold Bar involved doing a really convoluted puzzle involving the apple and then eating golden cheese. Shattered involved clicking the clock
20 times.
And Golfed involved dropping a bunch of items into a trash bag to make it explode. But there was just this one singular ending which nobody could seem to solve. The burger ending. There was a lot of theory crafting done about how to get it. Some people suggested the colors of the endings around it looked a bit like a burger, maybe you had to get those endings in order. Or perhaps you had to visit the areas associated with those colors in order. Maybe you had to combine the cheese with some sort of patty in the game. However, none of these ideas worked, and as the days went by, the game actually started gaining traction. Hundreds of people were now playing, and yet nobody could get the burger. And eventually, around 2 weeks after the game's release, Roby just removed the original burger ending. The new method for getting it was solved pretty much instantly. It involved the brand new portal mechanic, which was not previously in the game, so this couldn't have been the original ending. And despite it no longer being in the game, Roby would never reveal what the burger ending had originally been, although we would eventually be able to make a pretty good guess. Before the game got popular, a 51st and 52nd ending had actually been added, Rainbow and Globe, the first 2 of the 3 endings that this video is about. Now, something you need to understand about Rainbow and Globe is that they were added at a time when the game was dying out and the player base was largely just the Anything Can Be a Secret player base trying to solve the final few endings. Naturally, Roby, seeing this, was afraid that the burger ending would also soon be found and nobody would play the game anymore, which is when the idea for Rainbow and Globe was born. They're designed to be the hardest endings in the game, hopefully keeping people playing trying to solve them. And you know what? They did. February would go by without any progress on either of them. The only thing that was found had been on the day that they released, when Levitator Levi's friend had written hi in chat when Levi was showing him how to get the lightning strike ending via voice chat. This made something strange happen. Every time you said hi, the ball would respond to you in different languages, those being, in order, French, German, Russian, Polish, and Japanese. But what was this ending at, right? Nobody knew. We tried changing our Roblox language. Nothing. Perhaps you say the language every time the ball speaks. Nope. Maybe you respond in the same language, or maybe you say the flags in chat. What if the flags indicate realm colors? What if this is just a red herring? And time just continued passing. Roby would add more and more endings to the game, and they'd all get solved very quickly. Even the more complex ones. Get 9 digits from the apple by counting how many times it chats between every 41. Yes, this is a real ending. Vault ending. Somehow find a way to get the golden cheese to the ball, even though you obtain golden cheese by popping the ball? Sure. Black hole ending. The game was so big at this point that pretty much every ending got solved within a few days of release. Well, except Glitched, the third ending that this video is about. Glitched was different from the other two, because it hadn't been specifically designed to have people stumped. Roby saw how fast people had solved Vault and thought that this one would have a similar fate. In fact, the first step to Glitched was actually found incredibly quickly. You go into the Vault room, you cause a lockdown, and then you go into the other room before the door's shut. This causes a trophy to appear on the door and the spawn ending sound to play, after which the lights above you flicker 14 times, each time with a jump sound. Which seems like a lot of info, right? Should be pretty easy to figure out from here. But no, it wasn't. Ignoring the fact that getting this code is an incredibly tedious process and that we had no clue if we could just restart if we messed up, there are a lot of sets of 4 in this game. The trophy was most likely for orientation, we figured out that much, but what do you jump on? Under the 4 clouds? The 4 ramps around the spawn and the trophy? Maybe just the 4 quarters of the map, or something to do with the obbies that appear above it. And did you have to activate the spawn ending? Cause that ending is very tedious by itself, requiring you to click the spawn a specific number of times without messing up twice in a row. And this just went on, seemingly forever, failed idea after failed idea. Nobody could figure out Glitched. But while that was still happening, a new update to the game had released. This update seemed fairly inconspicuous. We had suspected that aliens had been added, which later turned out to be true, but likely the largest thing which happened that night had been completely unrelated. You see, to access the aliens you had to find 10 buttons scattered around the map. I was actively participating in this hunt, so when Zen, one of the people in our team, said that he found the 5th button on the steel door in the stuck area, I went to check it out. However, there are 2 variants of this door, the one you get by simply spam clicking it, and the one you get by bringing a key over and opening it. The button was behind the spam click version of the door, but I had messed up and accidentally opened it with a key. And behind the door... We didn't exactly know yet if this was actually for the rainbow ending, however, when the rest of the new endings were solved over the next few hours, it had been
Practically confirmed.
reinvigorated by this new discovery. We tried a lot of things. The colors could be portals, areas, endings, ball colors, but once again we got nothing. It was like these endings were impossible. Little did we know, on March 29th it would all come to a head. You see, I hadn't actually been keeping up with the game. I knew how to get all the endings, but didn't actually bother with getting all of them. But when Roby added a door which required 90 endings to enter, and there now being 89 endings in the game, I figured I'd catch up and get all my stray endings. And then, completely out of nowhere, this happened. Okay, so what did I actually do for this to happen? Did I somehow activate something which made the room turn rainbow? I mean, after all, I'd gotten quite a few endings right before this. Well, you see, the day after we found the colors, Nup had suggested that maybe you need to change your avatar colors. After all, there were 6 colors and 6 body parts. Now I thought this idea was pretty silly, but tried it anyways. I joined the game and nothing happened. But since my avatar was fully covered, I never bothered changing the colors back. And now, 4 days later, when I walked into the door with those body colors, I had unintentionally activated the rainbow ending. This singular moment would be the straw that broke the camel's back. The other 2 endings would surely now be found. We figured out that the 7th color appears on the door when you do rainbow. Cyan. What did this mean? Again, we had no idea. A new team member also got invited after this, and he brought some well-needed fresh perspective to the whole hunt. This ingenuity would later prove to be instrumental to finally completing the game, however for now we are just experimenting with Globe. Matioka suggested that maybe the Globe languages were referring to the free international fedora hats that Roblox sold. Levi tried equipping them in order and going to the rainbow room each time, but to no avail. And later that same day, a community member who had not come into play yet would experiment with the idea some more. He tried saying hi to the ball with the correct international fedora, resetting, equipping another fedora, and saying hi to it twice to reach the next language. He would repeat this process for all the languages, and after the final reset, something weird would happen. For a brief frame, Funny had seen himself inside of a blue pit. Nobody believed him, so he went live in the Discord and proceeded to repeat the process. The blue pit was in fact there again. Our team, having caught wind of this, tried the process and we were able to confirm that yes, the blue pit was there. And with a little bit of luck, Jakub would eventually get a loading screen, which allowed him to move out of the pit before the game had finished loading. It was the globe. And it was incredibly broken. Touching it would just give you the "you win" ending. But within a few minutes, Roby had fixed the bug and the first victor was able to obtain the globe. In a crazy turn of events, after being unsolved for nearly 2 months, Rainbow and Globe had both been solved within just 24 hours of each other. It was a rampage. And so the final ending was glitched. Now, you know what I said about Jakub bringing some perspective to the team? Well, earlier that day we were brainstorming ideas to get glitched, but had given up due to how tedious the process was. But Jakub made one very interesting suggestion. Has anyone tried clicking the spawn in certain quadrants? Neither of us tried this idea at the time, but when Globe got solved, Jakub claimed that he had figured out glitched. And he did. Instead of clicking on the quadrants of spawn, he jumped on them, and it worked. All 3 unsolved endings completed within just over a day of each other, with the final 2 being solved within 1 hour of each other. Let's be honest, this is probably the craziest thing that will ever happen to this game. The domino effect was working overtime with this one. And now you know, from being thought impossible to being easily knocked out one by one, this was the story of how Rainbow, Globe and Glitched were solved.